Well, you can see behind me, got the spray foam insulator in here, and I'm not gonna hang around and bother them, let them do their job. They do good work. This is BPI foam insulation. They're out of Fulton. I bet they love these post frames because look at that big open space. They can just run and gun on this. So we're gonna do 3 inches of closed cell. This is a Demolac product, so very good, probably one of the best that I know of. And yes, I know there's gonna be a lot of people that say spray foam is bad. How will you ever remodel? Now just stay tuned because I will show you how this spray foam won't really affect any future electrical plumbing changes, any future interior changes, because it's actually not connected to really any of that. And if that's confusing to you, hit that subscribe button and follow along because I'll try to share that as this project progresses. Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back. I know it's been a while, at least for us it's been a while. I don't know when you're gonna see this video versus when I'm actually recording. We have been waiting for our WeatherLogic roof material. Yes, we used WeatherLogic on the walls, but that's only 7/16. We couldn't use that on the roof, but I found out they came out and they started producing and selling WeatherLogic roof. Now, obviously it's in kind of a rollout, so it's gonna take some time to get everywhere, just like the WeatherLogic wall material, but it is available. I can't wait to install it on this porch roof behind us. Get ready for finalizing the exterior of this project. You can tell behind me, we got concrete, Benish & Sons, which is a local contractor here in Oregon, Illinois. They did all of this exterior work. They're prepping for blacktop before we get into too cold of weather. It's definitely gonna shape up quickly here on site, and hopefully we can do our part and shape up the exterior. So we're gonna get going on finishing up these roof details so we can get onto siding and standing seam. You'll notice this is a 12-foot base, so we dropped in a purlin. Typically we run our purlins over top of our framing or our truss, rafter, whatever. But because this is 12 foot, I don't use a 2x4. It's nice to drop it in. I will run it over top of my end to get my overhang, and then I use some structural long screws that go in through the top. The sheathing is gonna stop the roll as well as that locked on fascia. So I'm not worried about that. I've got my uplift and I've got my structural, I guess, framing so it doesn't roll. And then what I like to do is add some blocking in between. We will fill this space in, but we don't wanna do that yet. We wanna make sure that everything is nice and straight, and then we'll lock it in here and we'll lock it in up at the top. Man. It's gonna be so solid. Make sure I'm planed in on my eave. So one of the things that we do is when we set our rafters and our bottom cord on, we don't actually permanently fasten it to our 6x6 cedar, because what we like to do is get all the roof done, install our fascia to a string line. That way we know from end to end it's going to be perfect. And then what we do is we take our tape measure and we're going to measure back to our cedar, and it should be 12 inches. This one's 11 and 15/16. So what I can do is pull out my temporary nail that I had in here. I shouldn't have put a 20-penny ring shank in. Jeez. And once I get that out, what I can do is measure this. Actually, it went right to 12 foot. Maybe just a hair right there. So now I know that the 6x6 is running just as straight as our fascia board is. I always like to use the sheathing to straighten everything out, especially when you're using a good quality product like this that's dimensionally accurate. You can use the sheathing off of a perfectly straight line, which is our end fascia, and our square bottom fascia, to just make sure that everything is good.
Jeez, dude, slow her down.
Nah, I'm trying to speed her up. That's some heavy stuff. Bro, this is solid. Come and walk across this. It doesn't matter if you're on the joints.
Holy crap. Dude, that's like solid.
Walk across the joint.
There's no pearl in there. Look at that.
No.
Dude.
I'm not just saying it. That is
solid as like the Legacy.
That is, yeah. Seriously, it's freaking rock solid.
It's about as solid and straight and square as the Legacy.
Okay, get this next one, and then I'm gonna snap a line, cut it, flip it, and reverse it. So as you can see here, what we do is toenail in. These are actually nails coming out from the toenail over here. And just because of the angle, they might make a bracket suitable for this, or maybe an adjustable bracket. But what I do is I like to just go ahead after we're done framing, and I could do this beforehand. I usually don't think about it, if I'm being honest. I just don't think about it. And I pull it up tight. And then I'm just gonna nail it to my 2x12, creating a ledger to rest and carry some of this load. Okay.
Look at that line, dude. Like, you can trip on that, girl. Be careful.
Hope I don't. I'm on the roof. I don't want to trip on it. I need my hearing protection on. See, I could tell something was wrong here because my sheathing is past my fascia, but I'm pretty darn good up top on my end fascia, which means either my building is out of square, the porch is out of square, or in this case, I've just got a little bit of a bow here in my fascia. All I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna take my square, I'm gonna work this up till I'm squared up with my edge. Then I'll just pop that nail. Now, we know that these tails from the bottom cord of this manufactured by us truss, because we know that these were all shot with the string line, we know that they're straight to each other. So whatever happens in between these fascia here, it can get a little, wiggly because wood isn't perfect, and we straighten that out with our sheathing, knowing that every time we get to one of these tails, we're gonna wanna make sure that our fascia is plumb with the face of our sheathing. So what I like to do is just install my fascia line first. I don't nail off anything else. Because once all this is straight, it usually straightens everything else out. So now you can take your square here at the tail and look at that. Perfect. That's how we know that we're running good. All right, dude, I don't know what I'm doing, but the ringing in my ears is too much. The nice thing is we laid this out in such a way that when our purlin change happens, you can see here, we drop our purlins. It's right on the joint, the middle point is right on a sheet joint. That way one sheet will just drop down. We got 4 sheets, which when we fill the top, it's gonna be 2 rips, and then everything will transition. So a little bit of thought has to go into the sheathing layout when you're sheathing a roof like this with purlins. Hey Greg, can you do me a favor and eyeball this? Make sure grab that gun on your way up. Here, come on up here. Okay.
Like it?
Mm-hmm. Before you nail this, let me just look at it. Oh, bro, it looks amazing.
Yeah?
Yep, nail it. So now that we have our sheets that are running perpendicular to the purlins, we've got this 16-inch space up here that we fill in with a rip, and it works out pretty good. And now we're gonna be on our purlin transition here, and we'll just drop this piece of WeatherLogic down 1.5 inches, and it will overhang 1.5 inches, but it's no big deal. All we'll do is snap a line from here to the end, and we'll rip off that 1.5 inches and then use that rip line just like we did here to make sure that our fascia stays perfectly straight. So I do believe you can get WeatherLogic roof for 1/2 inch, 5/8. And did they have 3/4? I feel like they had 3/4 as well.
I don't think I was around for that conversation.
For structural sheathing, this is, you know, roof or wall sheathing. Gonna give you your air and your water barrier, which means that when we're done putting the sheathing up, we're gonna, go ahead, where you want it?
Uphill.
Yeah, take it, man. What I was saying is that when we're done installing this, we don't have to run maybe felt paper or synthetic felt. We just gotta tape the joints, and then we're ready to install our metal roof right on top of this. So that's kind of the nice thing. This is gonna give you that water barrier. Yeah. Okay, that's it. Let's snap this line here. Good?
Yep.
Should be able to see that. You're good to nail this anytime. Oh, look at that, Greg.
Land that.
Huh?
Land that.
Thank you. Well done, man.
Make sure you had that tape in your roll.
Guess I couldn't have done it without you. Dude, this is by far the stiffest roof deck.
What?
The stiffest roof deck, Greg. Deck. I know I had something in my mouth, but I said roof deck. You know, the stiffness is gonna keep me comfortable. In general, like as a carpenter, the stiff deck gives me pleasure.
You just went before.
Are you saying it doesn't make you happy? A stiff deck?
It doesn't give me pleasure, no. I think
Oh. Well, they say that money can't buy happiness, but it buys pleasure, Greg. And all the money, you know, this stuff doesn't come free. And now, welcome to Roof Conversations with Greg and Kyle. Well, that's our first time using the WeatherLogic roof. It's heavier, so that's definitely something to take in consideration, but not unmanageable for one guy. The nice thing is that when you're done installing it, it seriously makes a super flat, super rigid roof system, and it's definitely going to be a good roof deck to install some standing seam on. It's going to be nice and clean, which is what I always want, a nice flat surface to lay that metal on, because any imperfections are usually seen through the metal. I like it, man. That's nice. trailer this way. Well, it's been too long since we've been here at the Music Garage, but it feels good to be back to get these porches wrapped up. We were waiting on this 5/8 WeatherLogic from LP. It's a new product, so we were waiting for it. We knew it was coming. This is definitely a premium. When you walk on that roof deck, it's without a doubt a more rigid roof. It's super flat. When you look across it, like it just, once you get that thing all fastened and secured, it is a very nice system, and not for every job. I get that. You're not going to always spend the money. We're doing a standing seam metal roof, and if you've seen our standing seam metal roofs, you know that we really take a lot of pride in that, and we want it to look as good as possible. And by giving ourselves the flattest roof deck possible, we're going to achieve the best results for our clients, and that's our goal. So if that's not what you're after, if you just need good roof sheathing for, let's say, an asphalt shingle, yeah, maybe you're not going to spend the money for a WeatherLogic roof panel. But if you're doing something where you really want flat roofs and strong, durable roofs, then I think this is an awesome product.